This movie, this fucking movie. This movie is a movie called Waves. It is directed by Trey Edward Shultz. If you don't know who that guy is, he is the filmmaker behind Krisha and It Comes at Night. Say what you want to about It Comes at Night. I know that's a very polarizing movie. I know not a lot of people like that movie, but you can't deny that it looked good. I mean, it was a good looking movie. It was well made, so it at least has that going for it. It has a very talented cast starring in this movie. You have Taylor Russell, you have Sterling K. Brown, you have Renee Elise Goldsberry, Kelvin Harrison Jr., you have Jonas Hedges. I don't know why I called him Jonas Hedges. It's Lucas Hedges. I'm actually kind of embarrassed now because I spent the last hour before this video yelling into a mirror, making sure that I got everybody's name right in this movie. In the first few minutes of the video, I fumble the ball. And I just, man, that's tough. What this movie actually is it's a very intense, emotional family drama. It focuses on, I would say, a middle class or upper middle class family. A black family that is going through a lot of stuff in this movie. And there's just a series of cascading events that affect everybody in this family. In particular, the younger son of the family, played by Kelvin Harrison Jr. And this is about how all the members of the family deal with the traumatic events that happen in this movie and how they move beyond it and how they cope with it. And again, it's a very intense, emotional family drama. That's why you kind of got to take a breath after you see it and before you review it, because it's just like, whew, it's heavy, man. You know what I'm gonna say right off the bat? I'm gonna say I don't like how this movie made me feel. I don't like it. I don't appreciate this movie and what it did to me and my emotions. This movie's emotionally manipulative, man. Who the hell told this movie? Who the hell gave it the permission to get me in my feels like this? To make me feel so invested, to make me care so much about how things are set up, these characters and their lives, and then to just destroy me like that. Like, seriously, what gives? I did not want to watch this movie at a certain point. Like, it was just hard to watch, even though I knew how certain things were gonna play out. It was still like I'm rooting against it. I'm like, no, can we not do this? Can we not go in this direction? I was able to avoid crying though by doing the ugly allergy thing. You guys know what the ugly allergy cry is, don't you? The ugly allergy thing is where you kind of look up in the sky and you squint your eyes and you're trying to keep the tears in, and if anybody asks, it's just, oh, it's just allergies, it's just a lot of stuff in the air, you know? It's just, allergy season, it's such a bitch. I basically spent half the movie just, oh my god, allergies, man. Fuck allergies. Don't worry, as soon as I got in the car after I was done watching this movie, I let it all out. Because as a man, it's better to let these things out and not keep them in. At least that's what people keep telling me. Let's start with the direction in this movie. Trey Edward Shultz. This is what we call a flex. When the director of the movie is as big a star of the movie as the people in the movie that are actually starring in the movie, that is a flex. And Trey Edward Shultz is flexing on these hoes in this movie. Seriously, this is one of the best directed films of 2019. I absolutely love the way that he builds these characters up, the way that he takes his time and sets the stage, the way that he sets the pacing in this movie, the way that he gets you invested in these characters and their lives and their routines, the way that he clearly fleshes them out and establishes the dynamics between them so that when all the heavy shit starts happening, you really do kind of empathize with the people in it. I love the cinematography and the way that Trey Edward Shultz and Drew Daniels approached the camera work in this movie. Absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. It is eggs on a tit. It's all of that. There are a lot of really beautiful single shot takes and wides and a lot of really great rotating camera angles. It's almost this insatiable energy that perfectly captures the vibrancy of every frame of this movie. And I gotta give credit to the director for that. In regards to the cinematography, the biggest aspect I can highlight here is the lighting and the color work. Like, it's god tier here. This is one of the best lit movies of 2019, and no, I don't mean that in an outdated urban slang term. I just mean like it's well lit. Like, the lighting for it is just really, really good. Performances in this movie, good God, everybody is just in their bag. Everybody's in their bag. Pretty much everybody's flexing in this movie, not just Trey. Sterling K. Brown, you should know at this point what a badass actor he is. I love the fact that in this movie he has to play this very overbearing character. Even though he's a character that means well and he loves his family, he does come off as kind of overbearing and just kind of over the top sometimes. There's also a heartbreaking vulnerability to his character and also the other characters in this movie. That's the best thing that I can say about the people in this movie, is that they feel like people. They feel like human beings. They break, they suffer, and they go through trauma like human beings would go through it. Every single actor and actress in this movie absolutely crushes and slays it. You should definitely check out Kelvin Harrison Jr. going forward if you haven't already. This guy is one of the more talented younger actors that I've seen in the movie this year. This is a movie where the emotion is earned and the emotion is built up. It's kind of like dropping a pebble into a lake, and then there are ripple effects, and those ripple effects affect the characters, and it affects you while watching. You keep dropping things in, you keep dropping bigger items into this body of water, into a lake, and the ripples get bigger. It gets bigger and bigger until it turns into a tidal wave of emotion and it washes over you. It does also have some interesting things to say about the pressures of black youth, emotional maturity, insecurity and sometimes instability that can occur within a family, particularly a black family, going through the situations that they're going through in this movie. Unfortunately, when I got out of this movie, I felt like I had actually watched two different movies. Like, I feel like the second half of the movie is just not nearly as compelling or as interesting as the first half. The first half of this movie is all about build-up. It's all about building up the characters, building up the relationships, and it's building to a breaking point. And I'm not going to spoil what the breaking point is. Trust me, you'll know what it is when you see it. Kind of like after that breaking point, it turned into a different kind of movie. And even though I totally understand why it had to go this way, I totally understand that we needed to let the movie breathe a little bit. It's really kind of focusing on the aftermath of the breaking point. Stalled momentum. There's no other way to say it. They also spend time focusing on a subplot where the best thing I can say about it is you don't care, but you care. You don't necessarily care about it in relation to some of the other stuff that you could be getting an emotional payoff from. In the end, I do feel like the movie had some stalled momentum in the second half, and as a result, I feel like I watched two different movies. The first half is one of my favorite movies of 2019. The second half, it's okay. Waves was definitely an emotional experience for the year for me. I'm gonna put this one in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. Really a dope-ass movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it already. Might get some consideration for the top 10 of the year. Who knows? Reviews for Jumanji, Marriage Story, Dolomite, a whole bunch of stuff coming out the next few days. Like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.